SDG study and baseline needs assessment plan is extremely important, and we'll be looking to the UN systems, and we'll also be looking to the federal government through High Excellency's office to work with us and support us in areas of technical expertise, but also the resources to fund that. Another area, how we're also preparing is the SDGs are participatory. And for all the community members, leaders who are in the crowd today, I have gotten responses from a number of them over the last 3 months. We did what we call Community Charter of Demand Capacity Building Exercise, where all the 179 communities were sensitized on how to come up with their charters of demand, meaning that we're not going to local governments, but we're breaking it down to the smallest molecule of governance, which is the community, so that each community is asking and writing to the state, these are my priority projects. These are the areas that I would want intervention. I've received about 120 from the 179 communities. So I'd ask the other community leaders who are present here to also send in their requests, because we're about to start the budget calendar, and this would play a huge role in where the 2018 budget and how it would look. The third point of what we've also started in the ministry is we have what we call a budget defense committee, which in the past would have representation of the CSOs along with key representatives from various ministries. We're expanding that budget defense committee. It's now going to include the youth. It's going to include women leaders. It's going to include the PG representation from the PGs. It's going to also include, very important, the chambers of commerce and also the organized private sector. That way, as we're working on the budget, we're getting their input so that once we pass a budget and it becomes approved, it is seen not only as Anambra State government's budget, but the people of Anambra State's budget. And this, we believe, will go a long way in ensuring what we're trying to do. Then last point, because I know we don't have too much time, is from my experience, development partners would only put funding and resources towards plans that are customized and tailored to their views and their own aspirations, as the case may be. So we are calling on the UN systems to work with the state to develop what I call a long-term plan that will be endorsed by all their agencies and also other development partners along with the federal government. We will be looking to ensure that this plan is aligned with the National Recovery and Economic Growth Plan of the federal government, such that it's a multifaceted plan prepared by all these various stakeholders. Then the implementation then becomes easy, because we're almost going back to the people who we worked with on the plan to support us, resource mobilization, and also technical expertise, as the case may be. Thank you.
Thank you for that response. I think it's very clear that Anambra State Ministry of Economic Planning and Budget is working hard to ensuring that we do very well on SDG, and the ministry will be looking at the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President to assist us in that. Mark and I have talked several times about this baseline study. It is very important. Perhaps United Nations system can support the state to ensure that that study is done, because that's the only way we can actually monitor the achievement of the various goals. I'm told we are running out of time. If I think we seem to have run out of time, but what I'm going to have to say is that there will be a communique coming out of this summit, and that communique will be endorsed by the UN systems as well as the Office of the Special Assistant to the President on SDG. A number of people have sent in their questions. Most of the questions here relate to how do we ensure participation at the grassroots level. and they all come back to the issue of ownership. I believe the state government will be working very closely with the office of SAP office in Abuja to ensure that we fully understand the framework for SDG implementation. I will also use this opportunity to plead the case for Anambra, Madam, that our resources that we are still hopeful that will come, it will come.
It will come.
Thank you, ma'am. That would be very helpful in ensuring that a number of things that we set out to do in the state can happen. On this note, I wish we had another hour to take a number of the questions. This conversation does not end here. It carries on, I believe, and at the federal level, especially Office of the Director General of the Budget, I will plead that indeed I'm pleading on behalf of the state governments as well as the office that sufficient provision is made on that budget for 2018. Because part of what Her Excellency has said to me was that my brother did not put enough money in the budget to give us our money. So you are partly responsible for not getting our money. So in 2018, make sure that there is enough money. Your Excellencies, distinguished attendees to this summit, I think we would have liked more time to take more questions. Understand the civil society organization would have liked to ask a question, but unfortunately, I'm told that we've run out of time because this is going live. The Ministry of Economic Planning and Budget, at some point it will be useful to see how the various partners at the state level, the private sector, the communities and the rest of them can be sensitized into the implementation of SDG. On this note, I once again thank our discussants for the time they've taken to share their views with us on this. I particularly thank our visitors, our discussants from out of the state who, despite their very busy schedule, found it possible to be with us here. On that note, I thank you and declare this session closed. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for all the discussants and also the moderator. We want to thank you very much. I'm sure that we'll have a lot to take home from this session. As they are going back to their seats, I want to quickly invite Honorable Michael Koye to present the communique. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together one more time for our discussant. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Quite illuminating discussions. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Commissioner for Budget and Planning, Anambra State, Honorable Michael Koye, over.
Thank you very much. I will read the communique as follows. The communique issued at the end of the first Anambra Development Partners Summit held at the Governor's Lodge, Amobia, Anambra State on Tuesday, 1st, 2017. Introduction. The Anambra State Government organized its first Development Partners Summit at the Governor's Lodge in Amobia, Anambra State on Tuesday, 1st August 2017. The summit officially commenced at 12 p.m. and will end at about 3 p.m. Approximately 250 guests were in attendance, comprising of the Anambra State Government, the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Sustainable Development Goals, the Director General of Budget Office, Federal Ministry of Budget and National Planning, the UN